We're going to make this center grill area. We're also going to bring these in a little closer so they're actually meeting up with the side of the bus. We're going to go back to our file here. First we'll take care of these. We'll just press tab to go into edit mode. Just select one of these vertices by right clicking, do C for circle select, and we're going to go ahead and just select all these pieces. Just get at least a few vertices on each of them and make sure you have nothing else selected. Then you can do Control L, and that will select the entire piece of all of them. And as you can see, they are kind of floating a little bit past the bus. So what we're going to do is we're just going to grab it on the x-axis, hold Control and snap it to this point here, and that will correct that problem nice and quickly. Next we want to work on this part here. I decided that it's actually not rounded enough on this corner or this corner, so we're going to work on rounding out these corners a bit better to make it look closer to what it's supposed to in the real thing. So we're going to select this vertex, we're going to bring it over on the x-axis some, and we can do the same for this vertex. I'm going to select this one again, and what we actually want to do is do a vertex bevel. But when you do it with connecting edges in this direction, I'll just show you real quick. When you do mouse wheel up, you don't actually get any extra curvature. It still leaves a straight line. Instead of making this a nice curved line, it makes it all straight, which kind of defeats the purpose of doing this. So what we're going to have to do is get rid of these edges, and that will allow us to have a curved shape here. So we're going to go to edge select, and we're going to select these two edges. We're going to do delete, and we're going to choose only edges and faces. Go back to vertex select, select this vertex, do Control Shift and B, mouse wheel up once, and you can see now we're getting the result that we want. We're getting a curved shape, but I actually want to right click and move mine over a bit again on the x-axis, and then do Control Shift B, mouse wheel up once, and this is going to be a bit better than what we had before. Just try to match a similar curve to what we have there. Once that's done, you can select these two vertices and then just press F and continue pressing F, and that will fill it in all with quads. I'm going to take this vertex and bring it in slightly so we have a better shape in this area. We're going to do the same at the bottom. We're going to go to edge select, select these two edges, delete only edges and faces, go to vertex select, select this vertex. I'm going to bring mine over again and then do Control Shift and B, mouse wheel up once, and again try to get the curvature that you're looking for. You can always move these over slightly again if you feel you need to. Then we're going to select these two, do F, F, and then continue pressing F. And now we have everything filled in, all quads. A bonus is that if we do Control R, we now have the loops going around this entire area. So it kind of fixed our topology as well. Next what we're going to do is Alt right click on this, Shift D to duplicate, right click to cancel, F to make a face, Shift H to hide everything else. Go to edge select, deselect this edge by holding Shift and right clicking, E to extrude, right click to cancel, S to scale this out. This is just so we can do an inset with the border option and have it actually work. So we're going to go to face select, select this edge, and press I then B, and do a small inset here. This is going to help us create that outer part here. We're going to go back to vertex select, we're going to do Control R, mouse wheel up once, left click, right click, and then we're going to bring these out a bit, so we're going to grab them on the y-axis and bring them out slightly. We can get rid of this outer edge by Alt right clicking, pressing delete, and choosing vertices. We're going to press A and then Control N to recalculate the normals. So now you can see we have, well, we actually want to go to object mode and turn on smooth shading, but now you can see we have that outer rim right here, similar to this outer rim right here. One thing you may want to do with this, and we're actually going to do Alt H to unhide this and A to deselect, is if you look at this, we have it kind of going in a bit and then out a bit. We want this to be more of a straighter line. So actually what we can do is Z for wireframe, C for circle select, and select these vertices here and just bring them out some. And try to straighten out this line a bit so that it looks a bit better. So that looks pretty good to me. Next is actually another inner ring on the inside that we want to create that. But we also notice that this goes in a bit, so it actually has some inward direction here. We need to create that. So what we're going to do is go to face select, right click to select this. We're going to do I then B, do a small inset, and then left click. Then we're going to bring this back. This will give it that depth that you see in the picture, how it goes back some. So try to match the similar distance here. Something like that should be fine. Now we want to create this ring. To do that, we're going to do similar to what we did before. We're just going to do I then B and do a small inset here. That should be good. Then we're going to do Control R, mouse wheel up once, left click, right click. And we're going to actually take these and bring them out on the y-axis. So we're going to bring them out a little bit on the y-axis. And that will help to create that little rim on the inside. Another thing we can do is go to face select, select this face, do Control plus again, Control plus one more time. And if we separate this into a separate piece, just like we separated this into a separate piece by duplicating it initially, the shading will look a little bit better. So with these selected, we can just press Y, and that will separate them and will create better shading, at least on this outer rim part. We'll fix this other part in a second here. So now with this part still selected, we're going to do Shift H. We're going to go to Vertex Select, and we want to start correcting some of the geometry here. To do that, what we're going to do is select this vertex, and we're going to select this bottom vertex down here. We're going to press J. We're going to select this next one, and then go to the top and select the next one and press J. But actually we need to move this one a bit, so we're just going to bring it over on the x-axis a bit. And then with that one still selected, we're going to hold Shift and select this one and press J to join that as well. Lastly, we want to bring these across. So to do that, we're going to switch to Edge Select, select this edge, do Subdivide, change number of cuts to 2, go back to Vertex Select, select this vertex, Shift and select this one, press J to join. Do the same at the bottom. You want to select this one here, Shift select this one here, J to join. Then we're going to take these and straighten them out. So you're going to select this vertex, G twice, slide it down. Select this one, G twice, slide it up to straighten those out a bit. And now you can see we're getting some nice shading. Everything's looking good. To help correct the shading issues that we're having on this side as well as the other side, we can just go into edit mode by pressing tab. We can do Alt H to unhide everything, A to deselect. So part of the problem is we actually have some of this geometry here that's going inward, as you can see right here. It's going inward a bit more than the rest of this. So the solution would be to just pull the rest of this out. So I'm going to press Z for wireframe, select this, C for circle select, and get all these. And we're just going to go around and move these forward a bit until they match up a bit more nicely. Z for wireframe again, select these. The only ones you don't want to select are these two that are already on this area. Those are pretty much set up the way they should be. And then just bring these forward until you have straighter geometry here. And we do the same at the top here. Just select one, Z for wireframe, C for circle select, get all of them except for the last two here, and then bring these forward until you have nicer, straighter lines. and that should help to correct the shading in this area. It looks a little bit better than it did. You can always adjust them even further if you feel you need to. When you're happy with it, just go to File and Save. Thank you to our awesome Patreon supporters. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter yourself, head on over to patreon.com/StephenBrooks. Thank you for your support.